Once there was a king who was always pestering his mind with two questions. He used to ask all the people in his kingdom about these two questions. He used to ask his prophets, he used to ask his ministers, he used to ask all the wise people in his kingdom for the answer for the two questions. Do you want to know what the two questions was? Yes. Question number one. Does God exist and is God one or many? Was the first question. The second question is, where do we find God? So he was asking all the people in his kingdom about the answer for these two questions, but no one literally had the answer for these two questions. So days and months passed by. He was living his own life. One day, the king started taking his horse and riding towards his kingdom. He was riding through the villages of the kingdom. He saw a monk, a Buddhist monk, who was entering his village. He saw that this monk has had a very bright, sparkling face, that he knew that this monk was sure an enlightened monk and he could answer his questions. So what the king did was he fastly rode his horse and went near to the monk and started asking his questions. Now this monk was quite puzzled seeing this king, why he wanted answer for his two questions very immediately. Now the monk replied, "See, you young man, I could see that with your appearance that you could be a king of this kingdom. But is this the way you ask a question to a monk?" He said, "You did not even get down from your horse. You are just sitting in horse and asking the question. Is this the way you respect a monk?" The monk questioned. Now the king said, "Oh, sorry, monk. I am very sorry about this." Now he got down from his horse. He bowed in front of the monk and he said, "I'm so sorry about this, and I should not have answered, or I should not have asked the question like this in this manner. Sorry, sorry." He apologized so many times. Now this king wanted back the answer again. Now the monk said, "See, I'm hungry. I'm ready to answer your question, but I don't want to answer it here, and I'm super hungry." Now the king again realized his mistake, so he took this monk to his guest house with a beautiful garden. He set up people to take care of the monk, and he said those servant people to take care of the monk with very nice food, and with all the comfort which the monk needs. The king went. After 2 days, the king came again to see the monk and asked this monk whether he was happy here. Um, he was comfortable. He was receiving the food which he wanted. Everything. Now this monk said, "Yes, yes, I'm super happy here. I'm very comfortable. I'm getting all the food you give, and I'm very excited here." Now the king wanted back the answer for the questions. This monk said, "Yes, yes, I can answer your questions, but only you wanted the answer for these questions, or else whether it could be nice if all the people in the kingdom hear the answer for this question at the same time." The king thought for a while. Yes, this idea sounds very nice, and I will arrange all the people of my kingdom to come in one place and hear the answer for the questions. "Okay, then you go and assemble all the people in the court, and I'll come to answer your questions," the monk said. Now the king said, "Monk, this is not such an easy job. It takes some time to organize all the people in one single place, and it's a tough job," he said. This monk said, no, 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 no issues. I'm super comfortable here. I'm getting all the comfort and food that you give. I'll be happy to stay here. You organize a meeting and then call me up. I'll come and answer your questions, he said. Then the king said, okay, monk, this sounds good. You just stay in my guest house. I'll go arrange all the people and then come back. So the next day, he got a message from the king that the king has been arranged an auspicious day for the assembling of the court with the monk and all the people of the kingdom. And this day was 1 month ahead. Fine. The monk was did not think about anything. He was super happy with this place. And in this 1 month period, what the monk did was he was walking around the villages and he got a village farmer as a friend. He used to go to his farmland. He used to speak to this farmer each and every day. He used to give suggestions of his farmland, his family, and everything. And they were very close friends in this 1 month of time. So the event day was coming nearby. There was still more 3 days for the event. And this monk who went to the farmland to see his farmer asked the farmer that whether he could do one help for him. Now the farmer was super happy. Oh my monk, you are very much enlightened person. You are asking a help for me, and why wouldn't I do it for you? I am very happy to do any help for you, and ask me first. He said, "Okay, okay, I'll ask you the help, but not today. I'll ask it tomorrow." He said, "Fine, okay." So on next day, only 2 days left for the event. Again, the same day, the monk went to walking for the farmland, and this farmer asked, "Monk, you said you will ask some help, and I'm very ready to help you. Tell me what help you wanted." Now this monk said, "Okay, okay, I think you will help well. So please don't leave me off. You have to help me, but I'll say the help what it is tomorrow." Fine, the farmer said. So, just the previous day before the event, he went again to the farmland to see his farmer friend. And this farmer was super excited to help the monk. And the farmer asked, "Yes, monk, I'm very much excited to help you. What help do you want from me?" Now, this monk said, "Yes, now you have to help me. Tomorrow is the event, as you know, and you are going to disguise as a monk like me and go to the court." Now, this farmer was surprised and puzzled. "Oh, monk, what do you say? In the court of so many people in the kingdom, so many wise people and prophets, and so many ministers, you say to me to disguise as a monk and go in front of them? They'll be asking questions, and how can I answer the questions?" He said. Now the monk, with this little smile in his face, he said, "No issues. I'll be coming along with you, disguising as a farmer. So when they ask questions to you, you just show me and say that my farmer friend will answer all your questions. Is that okay?" The farmer thought for a while and said, "Okay, if you answer the questions. But how do I look like a monk? I have a long beard, my hair is so frizzy, and no people will accept me as a monk." Now the monk gave an idea. Being and looking like a monk is not such a tough one. You just shave your head, shave your beard, and you wear my dress. You look like a monk. So fine. So the disguise matter was clean enough, to be taught enough. And the next day, the day of the event, this farmer shaved all his head, shaved his face, disguised himself as a monk, and this monk disguised himself as a farmer friend. So these two people went to the court where all the people, the king, the people of the kingdom, everyone were assembled there, very eagerly waiting to get the answer for these two questions. Yes. Now the court started. Now the king asked the monk, actually the farmer who was in disguise of a monk, about the first question. The first question was, is God one or many? Now, the farmer who has been disguised as a monk said that, yes, I can answer your question, but this is a very silly question, and my farmer friend can answer this question well. All the people in the court were super puzzled seeing this answer. What? An illiterate, uneducated farmer friend can answer the question? Okay, this monk has said that this farmer friend can answer. Let us see whether we get the proper answer or not. Now, the monk who has been disguised as a farmer started answering the question. He said, okay, I'm an uneducated, illiterate farmer. I don't know counting. King, can you help me in counting so that I can answer your question? The king asked, how can I help you? This man, that is this farmer, the monk actually who has been disguised as a farmer, said that he wanted two plates, one empty plate and one plate with full of beets. Yes, the king said to bring the two plates, and the two plates were ready in just a minute of time. Now the king started taking one bead from the plate and placing it in the other plate, saying it as one. The next bead he took and he again said this one, keeping in his hand as two, and he was about to keep in this place. Now the farmer stopped. Oh my king, how can you say this as two? This is only one single bead in your hand, right? How can you say this as two? The king was quite puzzled with the answer. Yes, I have only one bead in my hand, but this counts as two, no? He was wondering. Now this illiterate, uneducated farmer said that, oh my king, you have only one bead in your hand, and how do you mention this as two? I'm not educated, I'm an illiterate, but how can you say this as two? You have only one bead in your hand. Yes, the king thought for a while. Okay, he placed again. He took another bead in his hand and said it as three. Again the farmer said, oh my king, you have again one bead in your hand, and how do you tell this as three? Again the king was quite confused. Yes, no, I have only one bead in my hand, and how can I tell it as three? But it is a counting of three. Now the farmer, actually the monk, answered the puzzle of king's mind. Yes, actually, this is a one bead, one among many. But actually, this is one among many. So, God is one, but we expect, or we have been taught from our previous expectations or previous beliefs as many gods. So, King, hope you have got the answer for the first question. God is one among many disguises. Yes, the king was happy with the answer, and all the people of the kingdom were also happy with the answer. God is one among many expectations. Yes. Now, the king was super happy with the first answer, and he wanted the answer for the second question. Now he asked the second question. Where can I meet God? Now, the farmer, actually the monk who has been disguised as a farmer, said that, King, you're asking too many questions and I'm answering all your answers, questions and all. See, I'm super hungry. I want something to feed me and then only I can answer your questions. The king said, yes, yes, yes. I'm so sorry that I have not treated you well. Tell me what you want. Now this farmer said, I want a glass full of milk. I'll drink that milk and then answer your questions. Okay, then within a minutes of time, the farmer got a glass full of milk. After getting this milk, what this farmer did was he took one of his finger and started stirring the milk. All the people in the kingdom was puzzled seeing this man stirring the milk with his single finger. The king asked, "Hey farmer, what are you doing?" This farmer said that I have heard that there is ghee in this milk and I am finding out ghee. Hmm? Ghee? How come ghee here in this milk? The king asked. No, no, you have said that you could get ghee from milk and I am getting ghee by stirring milk. But I couldn't see any ghee here. Now the king laughed. Oh, you uneducated, illiterate farmer. Hope you know that the answer for this thing, but you are not knowing the answer for this silly thing also. All the people knows that you have to stir the milk with a full force that you have to settle down this milk as a curd, and this curd has to be churned and to get buttermilk, and from buttermilk you have to churn again to get the butter, and if you heat with full heat only, you will get ghee from that butter. And everyone knows the answer. Why don't you know? Now the farmer friend smiled and said, now you have answered the answer for the second question. The king was quite puzzled. What? Answer for the second question? I couldn't know. This farmer said, yes. You said this milk. I said that this milk contains ghee. You said that this milk has to be first settled down as a curd. Yes. You too have to settle down as a curd with the belief and faith that you could see God. First thing, you have to settle down with the belief system that you can see God. Second thing, you have to be churned to get the buttermilk. You have to do some hard work. You have to learn some Vedas. You have to do some tapas, and you have to be fully engaged. You have to get rid of all the fear, anxiety, all your external and internal emotions, everything. As churning the buttermilk, you have to get rid of all the fear, anxiety, your emotions, your jealousy, everything you have to get rid of and be like a pure butter. Then you have to do tapas, the butter turning into a ghee. It is a very difficult job. You have to do it for years. Only then God can appear in front of you like a ghee. Now the king was super happy with the answer. What an answer from our illiterate, uneducated farmer. Yes. So, literacy and education, everything lies in our mind when we are exposed to so many knowledgeable people. So hope you have liked the story of this thing, and please do not forget to subscribe to my channel to get some more interesting stories like this. So I'm sure that you also will be happy like this king getting answer for the questions, and stay tuned until the next video. Thank you.